Keep going.
Oh God, Patrick, why do you always talk when we go live?
Mash the button faster.
Okay, my fault. Whatever. This happens every week. But
Hey,
you can
not
see,
every
we are
week.
here.
A couple of weeks, I keep my mouth shut.
A couple out of 10. All right. So
Hey, that's 20% of the time, bro. You're lucky.
it's time to breathe again on the Breath of Fresh Air webcast. Nice to have y'all with us tonight. I am Charles, got Patrick with me, and we have some interesting topics for us to cover. As you can see, we are ready to go because we came on here going at it with each other. So we're ready.
Rolling.
Let's get it. All right. So, Patrick, let's start with this first topic. So we're going to continue off of a shorty that you did over the weekend when you were talking about an adult website. Huh, what's up?
We jumping right into it?
Yeah, might as well, man. Yeah, might as well. Let's get it.
Go.
So, look, I was debating should we just go right into it or maybe save it for last, whatnot, but nah, screw it. Let's jump right into it.
All
So,
right. What's up?
what's up, Steven? It's good to have you on here with us. Adult website, yes, strip chat.
Yeah.
So they have put on a proposal, I guess. What was it? 15 million, Patrick, was what it was? All right, so 15 mil to be the name on the New Orleans Saints' current home, which is known as we speak as the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Now, Mercedes-Benz, from what I saw, does not plan to renew their contract to remain on the name of the Superdome. So, Patrick, you had some interaction that came through. Steven was one of the guys who did interact. And he said the Las Vegas Raiders. What's going on, William? Good to have you on here.
What's up?
So Steven had said the Las Vegas Raiders were a good candidate if there's a franchise who is going to try this. Oh, before I go on, like you pointed out on the shorty, what's going on, James? So what you was talking about on the shorty, this is not the first time a porn site or an adult website has tried to get on to the name of an arena. Bang Bros, I guess, was trying to get on the name of the Miami Heat's arena, which is named American Airlines Arena. So no, that wasn't gonna happen. So
not Bang Bros.
Yeah, no, right?
Can you imagine a Bang Bros arena?
Bang Bros arena. Could you imagine that?
All the strippers, dude.
Could you imagine ESPN coming on there? Welcome to Bang Bros Arena for Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
But see, that's the thing is ESPN wouldn't be. They would have to hire Breath of Fresh Air.
Look, my man, best of the best. That's what's up. So Patrick, I'm gonna ask you two questions with this. One, if there is a franchise who would be down to do this, which one do you think it would be? And if there's a porn site or an adult website that could break through into the mainstream like this, which one do you think it would be?
All right. So we got some interaction from Steven on this and saying that the the Las Vegas Raiders would probably be one of the teams because of being Sin City and stuff. All right. So I agree with him.
I love your name too, Steven.
That would be
Bang Bros Arena.
Big Bang Bros Arena. But, it's like, dude, there's only two teams, man, and I know you got a third one, and I know you're going to mention it here in just a minute. But I think there's only two, man. The Raiders from Las Vegas and New Orleans, man, because New Orleans, dude, that's the only two that would be able to dip into this and twist it for good profit. You know what I mean? But with that being said, Bang Bros ain't getting in. Strip Chat ain't getting in. Pornhub is not getting in. UJizz.com is not getting in. Yes, I did some research, just so y'all know. Yes, I did.
UJizz ain't getting in?
Nobody getting in like that. But I will say this, man. Playboy has a chance. Penthouse has a chance. I mean, now, don't get me wrong. Penthouse Superdome sounds pretty dope to me. I'm just saying. Playboy Arena sounds pretty dope to me. I'm just saying. But I don't know, man. That would be the only two as of right now that would be closer to hitting anything of getting their name on the side of an arena today. That's the only ones, and that's the only two teams. So with that being said, Miami, as much as that Playboy Arena would sound good, y'all probably ain't gonna do it.
James, don't worry about that. Like we know.
Okay, so that's a topic that we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
okay.
look,
we do our research because all you have to do is put in porn in Google. And
that is it. That is it. They're all right there. It is really simple.
They'll list them for pages, bro. List them for pages.
Like how it's like, nah, James, we ain't gonna talk about that. Can't talk about Fight Club, right? No, but yeah, they're all right there. You Google search it, they is all right there. But I agree with you with those two teams, the Raiders and the Saints, and I also agree with you about the two sites or the two industries. Porn. I was about to say Pornhub, Penthouse, and Playboy, because they've been around for a while. And they pretty much have a reputation already established, and those two names got a little bit of class with it. To be honest, a little, like a slight. That's what's up. That's what's up. You see it, Joe. That's what's up. But the third team that you had mentioned, and this is for Steven too, because he's a fan of this team, the Dallas Cowboys. Reason why I say this is because, dude, who's their owner, Patrick? Jerry Jones, right? And if anybody who has been in AT&T Stadium for Dallas Cowboys home game, or for any game for that matter, you probably know there's a Victoria's Secret inside that stadium. That's kind of close to porn. So yeah, soft porn, yeah, right. But if there's anybody who would be willing to try it in the owner realm, Jerry Jones to me would be that guy. This dude is the same person who, I guess, a quarter century ago, when everybody in the league was trying to have a contract with Reebok for their apparel, Jerry Jones was like, no, we doing Nike. And then eventually everybody started doing Nike. So yeah, and in the stadium, we talk about AT&T Stadium. That was the model that set forth for the rest of these new stadiums that are going up. US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, the new stadium, SoFi. Is it SoFi or SoFi, Patrick? Which one is it? SoFi Stadium going up in Los Angeles. AT&T Stadium was the model for all that, and that was Jerry Jones driving that train. So if there is anybody who is willing to put their name out there and go that extra mile and partner up with some sort of a porn site, it would be the man who says, I ain't got time to have time.
Jerry freaking Jones, man. Look, and I agree with you on some of those, but I mean, if somebody's going to do it, it would be Jerry Jones. But I'm going to disagree with you with the Dallas Cowboys because I still think Jerry Jones will still want to hold that reputation as America's team. That to him, I think, will bring more value, dollar-wise, than putting some kind of porn site on the side of his building. Plus, let's be honest about everything. All this said and done, it still comes down to the dollar amount. And AT&T has probably $150 million wrapped into just putting their name on the side of that building. So if you're coming legit, wanting to put your name on the side of an organization, like I said in my shorty, man, you might want to come with 50 plus mil, because at the end of the day, 15 million just not going to do it.
Yeah, and look, let's be honest. I mean, neither one of us think this is going to happen anytime soon. I do agree with you and Steven that says if anybody was going to do it, like, our first choice would be Las Vegas. Definitely Las Vegas Raiders. And also, as Steven had said, Sin City, of course. So, I mean, so if anybody was going to do it, it would be them. But yeah, I don't see this happening anytime soon. But I think this is just a first step, to be honest, Patrick. The porn sites are coming.
Oh, yeah.
I guess
There's
literally
going to be a
into it,
mainstream
right?
hardcore before you know it. I mean, hardcore, and maybe I probably shouldn't use my wording like that, but
Yeah.
they are
Hey,
coming.
look. Hey, Patrick. Look, I had to catch myself. Porn sites are coming. Like, ooh.
Oh, you might want to watch phrasing, bro. Phrasing. Porn sites are coming though. COMING coming. They are coming.
All right, Stephen. Hey, we see you, man. Come on through. Come on back when you can. But yep. I think we're pretty much in agreement, man. That we don't see this really happening anytime soon. But I don't think we'd be surprised if it did happen in like maybe no, I wouldn't say a few years. But you give it like about 5-10 years down the line, maybe.
It depends on how these organizations and these sports organizations are willing to dip into that, and or are these porn sites porn sites willing to dish out the money that it takes to put your name on the side of that building? I mean, just for example, Mercedes-Benz Stadium Mercedes is not renewing their contract with the Superdome because they bought the contract with the Atlanta Falcons. With that being said, Mercedes, I know, spent $100 million on just getting that alone. So when I look at what the overall value of that is, $15 million just to put your name on the side of the building, yeah, that's a lot of money, but it's to these sports organizations, that's not enough.
It's not enough.
They want a lot of money. And with that being said, strip chat, sorry, not anytime soon, bro.
Yeah, got to come a little bit better. So, well, all right, Patrick. Well, let's move on to the next topic, and this is the NBA. So, what we have, of course, all the seasons are either on hold or haven't started yet, and the NBA is no exception. So, it looks like the National Basketball Association is on their way to getting a plan together and starting their season, I don't know, sometime in June or July, I guess, or restarting the season. Now, if it does happen, the plan I heard last was they were going to play a few regular season games, and I'll explain the point of that in a minute because there really isn't no point except for the point that I'm going to bring up. But
you lost me.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, because there really isn't
there's
a
no
point.
Except for the point I'm about to bring up is the point that there's no point. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but you'll see it when I bring up the money, then you'll understand.
Okay.
That's what's going on there, or that's the latest thing that's coming up. They want to play a few regular season games and then go straight to the playoffs. So Portland Trailblazers guard Damian Lillard was talking about his team's chances to make the playoffs. And his comments were basically this, and I'm paraphrasing here, but his comments were if they don't have a fair shot to make the playoffs, then he doesn't want to play. He'll be with the team, but he doesn't want to play because he doesn't feel like there's a fair point. So I agree. I see your look. I think it's dumb too. So first, this is pretty bad, yeah. And so here's the thing. So here's the thing with the regular season games. Most of the teams have contracts with the local or regional networks, and they have to play a certain amount of games for the money to be pretty much guaranteed in that contract. The magic number for most of these teams is 70 games. When we stopped the season, it was most teams played around 64, 65 games. So that's why they want to continue play. Other than that, what's the point? So you're going to play a few regular season games and then you're going to go straight to the playoffs.
So we're talking like playing 5 more games and then going into the playoffs?
Basically, yes, because of those TV deals, which is stupid. Exactly. That is dumb to me because that's just like you might as well just.
Has too much power, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think about Damian Lillard's comments?
What do you think I think?
Well, it's better if you say them.
Okay. Good point. All right, I'll tell you exactly what I think about Damian Lillard. I said, dude, he is a point blank baby right now. Dude, come on, get out there on the court, do what you're paid to do, and stop whining. Because look, it's like this. I've said it many times, Charles, and I'll say it many more times in the rest of my life. If I don't do my job, I'm going to get fired. What makes him any better just because he's a pro athlete? Get out there and do your job. Your job is to go out there and entertain me. So entertain me. Period. So don't be mad because they want to finish off the season. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't believe that they should be finishing off this season at all. They just need to wrap it up and just put an asterisk beside it and say the Atlanta Hawks won.
What? No. Why?
Because it's the only chance they have. I'm just saying. But no, just put an asterisk beside this season and just be like, COVID-19 done. Everybody understands. We don't have to worry about this season anymore. Pick it up next season and let's roll with it then. This is ridiculous. I mean, they don't know what they're doing. Nobody can make a decision on how to run their organization. And here we are sitting here talking about porn sites going on side of buildings because they won't get out there and do their job. Just get out there and do your job.
It's a great topic, by the way.
Do your job. Oh yeah, it's a great topic. Do your job. Just do your job. It's not that hard.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm looking at this and it just seems like one of those cases where you have someone trying to pass off the responsibility for why their team sucks. And honestly, for real.
Because I like it.
Because think about it, Patrick. So look, that Damian Lillard, he's the star player for the Portland Trailblazers. They follow his lead. He's the one who's supposed to lead them to wherever. They were underachieving throughout the season. Remember, this team made the Western Conference Finals last year. So you came into the season with, and they got swept by the Warriors, of course, but whatever. They made it to the Western Conference Finals last year. And because of that, they came in with some high expectations. They weren't meeting those expectations. And now, as the season was starting to get to its apex, to its ending, they were on the outside looking in for the playoff race. So I'd have to look at the standings. You can fact check me on this, but I think the Memphis Grizzlies were in the 8th spot. So
I don't remember, but that sounds about right. I think they were like 2 or 3 games up.
Right. I know the Pelicans were trying to make a comeback, but I think the Grizzlies still have that spot. But be as it may, Portland was on the outside looking in. And so now here we are in these talks after COVID-19 shut down everything. And Damian Lillard says this. Look, dude, I'm pretty sure if you was in the 5th or 6th spot, you're not talking about sitting out. You're not talking about anybody's playoff chances. You're talking about trying to get right for a potential playoff run. But because your team is garbage, now you're like, oh man, if we don't have a fair shot to get into the playoffs, then I think I might just sit out. Well, all right, if you're going to be a baby, go ahead and sit out. And then on top of that, and for stuff like that, Patrick, that's why we need relegation. That's why get these garbage teams out of here. You want to throw away stuff, get them out of here. You get paid millions and millions upon millions of dollars to go out here and play a game. Like you said, grow up, do your thing. But it just sounds like one of those cases where things didn't work out the way they wanted to. So now they're like, well, I don't want to do anything. It's almost like the whole thing that we were talking about with college football and how these players sit out bowl games.
Oh.
But would they sit out the bowl game if they were still playing for the national championship or they had a chance at the national championship? No, they wouldn't.
Nope.
And now they don't, and they're talking about NFL draft prep. Give me a break. So that's what I compare this to.
And don't get me started on those NFL. Don't get me started on those college football players that do that crap. That irritates the crap out of me more than anything.
I mean, because the only thing you want is consistency. So if you're going to sit out, if you get to the Sugar Bowl or the Rose Bowl or whatever bowl it may be, but there's not any chance of you playing in the college football playoff, now you're talking about sitting out. But if that bowl game was one of the semifinals, now you're all about the team. I gotta be there for my team. I mean, come on now. You can't have it both ways. It's garbage. It's garbage. And that's what I compare Damian Lillard's comments to right here.
I would too. Damian Lillard's a little baby anyway about most of the stuff he steps on the court. The only person that's a bigger baby than Damian Lillard is LeBron James.
I don't know, man. Russell Westbrook, he kind of cries a lot too. There's a lot of the NBA has a lot of crybabies, man.
Man, I wish Meta World Peace would come back. Man, he'd knock some people out.
I miss those days back in the 90s and the early 2000s where it was hard fouls, and if you came into the lane, you was getting hammered.
Carl, shout out, Carl, Jeff Winter, John Stockton, shout out Utah Jazz, 1990s.
I couldn't stand the Jazz, but
oh, dude, they were so fun to watch. Yeah, and SOBs, man, they were bad.
Well, Patrick, hey, do you have anything to add to that to Damian Lillard's comments? Or are you good?
No. I hope he watches one day so he can see how big of a baby he really was.
All right, cool. We'll get there.
One day, hashtag Damian Lillard in this episode so he can see it. I'm dead serious. Hashtag his butt in it. Hashtag Damian Lillard, punk.
You know we go through all the tags and stuff, so yeah, he'll be on there. Cool. So next topic? So we're gonna talk a little bit of hockey because this gets onto some of your favorite topics, Patrick, or one of your favorite topics: participation trophies. Because apparently the NHL has adopted a plan to where if the season continues, this is the key word, if the season continues, they are going to have a 24-team playoff. There's 28 to 30 teams in the NHL.
25.
All of the teams pretty much have a chance to get into the playoffs with this new plan. So I mean, Patrick, I think we know, man. It's overkill, right? I mean, what?
24 teams out of 30? What are the other 6 going to? Man, now there's segregation happening, and when you segregate the other 6 teams, now they're going to whine and be like, "Well, why didn't I get in? Because you're letting everybody else play. Why can't I play?" Wham. Damian Lillard all over again. Jesus. What are these, man? Look. Go ahead. I mean, dude, I am so sick of these sports teams crying so much, man. It aggravates me, dude, because, oh, look, since we're going to make everybody do it, and it started with the New York Yankees. They made that proposal to have 2 extra teams go to the playoffs because 2 years in a row, they didn't make it, and they were the outside looking in. They whined, they complained, they got the playoffs extended. Now everybody wants to extend the playoffs. Why don't we just have an elimination and every team makes it? You're all winners in my book. Here's 32 World Series trophies. Good job, guys. Yay.
It gets ridiculous because
like you already this big.
So you already have
ridiculous
over half of the teams going to the playoffs as it is. It's the same in the NBA. Over half of the teams get into the playoffs. About that, I'll get to that in a little bit because this was coming off of Damian Lillard's comments. There was something that Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban said that kind of ties into that as well. But
he's not important. Mark Cuban is not important. Why aren't we even talking about him?
Well, I mean, are many of these people important though, Patrick? If you gotta put it that way, okay. So
not many. Not many at all.
So look, so here's the thing, man. So you have 2014 playoff that's being proposed. What I don't understand is why are we sitting here worrying about this when you don't even know what a season is going to look like? You have half your players gone back to their home countries. They have restrictions against coming back to these countries. So we don't even know if a lot of these players are going to be able to come back because of their restrictions. So you have to talk to people in Canada, in Finland, in Russia, whatever these countries are that these players are in, to see if they can get back for a potential season starting. To me, worrying about what a playoff is going to look like should be the last of your worries, because you don't even know if a season is going to happen. As a matter of fact, the NHL, look, until they actually do something, Patrick, I don't think they're going to do anything anyway until the NBA does something. I mean, I feel like they're just going to be a bunch of followers in this. They ain't trying to do anything unless the other sports step up first.
And MLB ain't going to do nothing until the NFL does something, and the NFL ain't going to do anything until the NHL does something. It's a vicious cycle.
It's just a vicious cycle, and
let's get in all of this and wait until next year. Just continue the season. Maybe football in October. Just start there.
True, and that's going to be interesting with college football, especially because if you don't have people coming to schools, how are you going to do sports? Like, if you don't so this is the stuff that I'm not understanding. Why are we thinking about this aspect when a whole different aspect needs to be taken care of first?
Well, then let's talk about where the face masks come from.
Well, let's do.
From China. China's triple dipping right now. They're either vicious or mean. They're incredibly smart right now because they created a virus to take out half of the population, and they also created the face mask.
And you know, most of our stuff comes from China. Most of our stuff comes from China anyway. But yeah,
no, I got a chair that I'm sitting in right now. Come from China. China did a good job, and I'm still alive. Go figure. 99.8% success rate. Can't do the job.
So I think
my water probably comes from China too.
So I think this is, I don't know, it's ridiculous. Oh, and real quick, back to Mark Cuban. So participation trophies, Patrick. So he had proposed having a play-in tournament for the last, I think, 2 seats. Nice to see you back, Steven. So basically what you're going to have is your 7.
So now we got a scrimmage playoff now?
So yeah, your 7th and 10th team playing, and then your 8 and 9 teams playing each other. This would be a 3-game series, I guess. So no, this wouldn't be a scrimmage. This would be a 3-game playoff, and then when those series are done, then we'll go straight to the best of 7 format that it is there before. Now, to me, again, that's not as bad, but it's still like another participation trophy to me, man. Like, look, you didn't make these top 8 seeds. Sorry. Go home. Get better. Draft. Whatever. Do something. But don't stay here. I don't know. It's getting to the point where we're going to have all the teams having a chance to do something in the playoffs. It's getting to that point. Because everybody, we want a chance to. No, you know what? Play better.
You had better, draft better. NBA, you had 82 games to figure that crap out.
Right.
Figure it out. MLB, dude, MLB, you have 162 games. Figure it out. I don't know why we need to have a scrimmage game before the playoffs start.
Oh, what's up, the original truth? See you soon, Beth. We got everybody returning. Yeah. What's in the cup, Patrick? Water, right?
Water. Because I sunburned yesterday and I need to rehydrate.
So,
Long Island, just do not rehydrate the way I need to be rehydrated at 38 years old. So water, and then margarita later.
You should have seen that cup For those of y'all who are viewing, you should have seen that cup he had last week. Check that out. Wow.
Ooh, boy, I had a few drinks the night before, man. I had to make sure I was good.
It's a big ass cup. But but all right. So anything else to add, Patrick, on this 24 game playoff ridiculousness, right? Or 24 team playoff?
It's too much, man. It's too many teams. It's like this, man. We had this conversation about Cam Newton when he was doing the whole Superman thing. I'm bringing it back. Yes, I am. He'd score a touchdown. He'd do his Superman thing. Right? Everybody would get mad. Well, why is he always doing that? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, look, you don't like it. Stop him. This is the same thing that you have to worry about when you're doing all these teams getting into the playoffs. It's the same thing. You want to make the playoffs? You got 82 games to get there. So that's it.
You see James' comment?
No, but I'm definitely going to look that up, James, because that seems like it would be really funny. Hold on. Let me look at this again.
Shark Tank is actually it's an interesting show. It's an interesting show, man.
We get the elephant for all those Alabama fans.
Yeah, Crimson Tide. Yeah, that's right.
No, so, dude, I will look that up, James. I do want to see that.
So about that though, Patrick, before we move on to our last topic, you're SEC guys. So how the hell is Alabama called the Crimson Tide and their mascot's an elephant? Tell me that.
They're confused over there. They're confused. They don't know what. Look, man. Every time I hear "Roll Tide, Roll," all I hear is a bunch of people cheering for laundry detergent.
Yeah,
that's all I hear. And I don't know. I will say this though. I am an SEC fan. Georgia Bulldogs through and through. Can't stand anybody in the SEC, but I will always root for them because I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan first. I'm an SEC fan second. And anytime any other team, I don't care who it is, if they're playing outside of conference, I'm always hoping they win. And there's a reason behind that, because if my conference wins, that means my conference stays strong. That means when we lose to somebody else, we still stay highly ranked. So go SEC, but first, go Dogs.
Right. Yeah, I'm a Texas Longhorn fan, and I would root for anybody in the Big 12. Except Oklahoma. I will never, ever, 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 ever root for the Oklahoma Sooners. Ever. I don't care who they play outside of conference. That team is my favorite team. I'm buying their jersey for that day. But
okay.
But well, here we go, Patrick. So here we got our last topic here, which is talking about Major League Baseball and their proposal. And this could get ugly. This could get really ugly. So now they're talking about wanting to cut the salaries of the highest paid players. Now, from the sounds of things, all the players would get their salaries cut. And I'm guessing it's because of it being half of a season. Laundry detergent. Love it. Yep, there you go. Hey, I got my man Steven talking about the hook 'em horns. That's right. Sure. But
well, y'all take together, don't you?
So
I'm still mad at Bevo scaring my dog. Big old bull going to try to take out my dog. Man, come on.
Hey, you need to blame the Georgia representatives for letting Uga come that close to Bebo. You know, hey, Bebo don't be playing. You can't be bringing them that close. Yeah, that was funny too. And then look, they over here, they trying to control Bebo. Bebo just shaking them. No, get off me. Get off me. Oh. Horns going everywhere.
Watch my PETA, shorty. Oh, I can't stand you. Welcome back, PETA.
Yo, you know what? Yeah, that's definitely, yeah. When we do another best of, man, I'm definitely want to go ahead and put that on there for everybody. Look, Patrick's Peter. Yep, tell him, Steve. The dog's in the wrong neighborhood. But yes, I encourage y'all to watch Patrick's shorty about PETA. Classic stuff there. Classic. Just remember this saying when you guys check it out. What about the rats? What about the rats? So just remember that. But Patrick, so what is your opinion on how these negotiations are going to get this season started? Because if you're asking me, man, it doesn't look good for MLB to start this season. I feel like they will get to a starting point, but these negotiations aren't looking good, man, because these players don't look like they want to budge off these money demands.
Would you?
I mean, probably not. No, I mean,
I got $80,000 to $1 million running on each game. Nope.
If you sign the contract, then you should be entitled to that contract regardless of what happens. Yes.
Yeah, regardless of what happens, man, that contract's a contract. That's the reason why players they contract for guaranteed money. That's the reason why. It's Bryce Harper. He signs a 120 year deal with Philadelphia, and he's never going to leave. But the deal is that that's what the contract is. So you can't just go start pulling back your contracts just because you're trying to get a season started. Look, it's as simple as this, man. Put a pin in it until next year. Look, put a pin in it until next year. You're trying, and don't get me wrong, Charles. I know it. I know these contracts with these TV stations. They need to get money start coming back in. I get it. But man, nobody wants to budge on the money part. Nobody. So I mean, I guess instead of cutting the salaries back for the players, why don't you cut the salary for people watching for CBS? Why don't you do that? Or MLB Network? Why don't you do that? Because nobody wants to budge on the money, and I get it. I don't want to budge on money. I'm not going to budge on the money. I own a computer business, and I'm not budging on my money. No, the fee is what it is. Point blank. So if MLB is trying to put this proposal in, trying to say, no, we're going to take the highest paid players and we're going to cut their salaries, for what? What's the money going to go to? That'd be my question. What's money going to go to? If it ain't going in my pocket, it ain't going anywhere. So, no, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's not the case. That money is going to be right back into the owner's pocket, of course. If they're going to talk about having half of the money getting cut. Look, I feel like you could probably, to me, if you're so much about getting the season started, which is what all these organizations, all of these corporations, whether we're talking about NBA, NFL, MLB, whoever, NHL, whoever, if you're so much about getting the season started or resumed, you can put all that stuff aside. To me, that's what it seems like. It seems like you can put all that stuff aside. You can come to some sort of negotiation to where everybody is happy, or at least most people are happy, because not everybody's going to be happy completely, of course. But you could come up with something. If Major League Baseball does not get started because of basically money issues, they are running a big danger to me of losing a lot of their fans. And we know, and you know too, Patrick, what they have been through in the last few years with the strike that happened in the 94-95 season, with the steroid era, and all that other stuff that has happened. And it has taken them a while to get even a good amount of the fans they had previously. If this happens to where they cannot get a season started, because they're already halfway into the season, the way they're talking. If they start this bad boy in July, like they're talking about, it would be an 82-game season. Do the math. We know the math. Play 162 games, 82 games. That's almost half the season. Like, well, damn near, like right on the dot, half the season.
Mm-hmm.
If they cannot get this started because of money issues, they're going to lose a lot of fans with that, man. And they're already kind of going in that direction just simply because they're trying to cut down on the minor leagues. And the minor leagues are part of that. The minor leagues, to me, and I would like to get your opinion on this as well. The minor leagues, to me, it's that ground, it's that grassroots, it's that dirt, it's like that foundation to
Mm-hmm.
where people can sit there. It's a little bit more of a affordable way. I can't talk right now, but it's an affordable way to bring your kids, to bring your family out there, and you can see some baseball, and you're looking at players who are doing everything they can to get to that major league level. And it's kind of like that grassroots of it all. Right. And so you're trying to cut back on that. So you're losing a good amount of fans there. And there's some communities out there who depend on those teams to bring in a little bit of the economy that they have, to bring in a little bit of the money that they can do with whatever to build up their city. So you're already cutting in there. Patrick, man, if they lose this season, and I don't think it looks good.
Honestly, I don't think it looks good out of the way. They're putting way too many proposals out. They're still talking about trying to start July 1st and run an 82 game season. Even at that point, I mean, they're just trying to salvage what they can. I get it. I understand. They're trying to get the money back in so that they don't lose. They don't lose their fans. They're trying to, gain as much of their money back as they can off of these TV deals and stuff like that. I get it. I understand. But don't water down the product just because you want to hustle to get that out. Why don't you take the year, fix everything you need to fix, not just half of it. Don't half-ass it. Fix everything, then put your product out so that it sells better. And I mean, MLB has put in way too much time and way too much money and way too much effort to get to the point where they're at now to screw something up and try to rush their product out at this point. Honestly, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation for MLB. Because either way, they've lost so much money, and they're going to lose money all the way up until they start their season, but they're going to lose money even this year. So they might as well just go ahead and chalk it up as a loss, write it off to the IRS, let the IRS handle it, because you know how I feel about the IRS.
You hate the IRS.
I hate the IRS. They're so corrupt. I can't stand them. I'm getting on my political jargon, but anyway. Cut your losses, start your season next year, and just go back to where it was, the way it was. Everybody gets to go home, do all your stuff. Just do next year. Let it wrap up as a loss because you still have the coronavirus that's gonna take all of that and pretty much pad everything that you have as far as an organization. So just let it do it.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I kind of agree with it, man. And I guess to top it off, Patrick, again, man, I would like to see these sports get started as a sports fan. And I know you pretty much feel the same way. Like, we would like to see these sports get started, but if you're getting to the point where you're still bickering about money and you still don't necessarily have a concrete plan, and we're still pretty much at the same point we were maybe a month ago when these negotiations started happening, I mean, just shut it down. Like, cut it out.
I mean, the Senate does it all the time. They sound just like the Senate. Can't come to terms. Let's take a 6-month vacation and
go to recess.
We'll go recess and we'll come back in 6 months and see if we can. Oh, we still don't agree. 6-month vacation, and we'll recess and come back in 6 months. Oh, we still don't agree. Let's do it again. Man, one day I'm gonna run for president, and then I'm gonna take over as king. I'm never gonna let the power go. I'm gonna hold on to it forever.
Oh, I don't know if we want that. You get a little power hungry sometimes.
Shoot. The whole country needs me as king. Everybody will be rich. We'll use India as our services. Hey, fix my
So look, before
self-appointed, just like LeBron James.
So before we go, for the people who are on here commenting and watching, uh, first of all, we appreciate you coming on here and checking us out, man. Because I guess I could use the JC line. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you here watching us.
Hey, and check this out. Shout out to Park William. Check out his YouTube because he is going to be the one that's putting together our music for this show when we start getting introductions and intros and outros. So go check out his YouTube channel and listen to his music, man. He's good.
Yes, and also what I wanted to do was open it up. So if you guys had any questions for us, if y'all had any topics you wanted us to dive into real quick, let us know. Give it to us. We right here. We're ready. We're waiting.
Go.
Whatever it is, we're down. Anything.
And while we're waiting, I'll just say this. When we say any topic, we're talking about any topic. But be ready because this is all unedited. And we're coming live with it every single Tuesday, so be ready.
So we ain't got nothing. Come on, y'all. I know there's some questions y'all got. I know there is.
How about them porn thoughts?
No, hey.
Put them in the comments, man.
Yeah.
Comments and we'll get with them.
So it's all good.
Only Steven, man. Only Steven.
Well, both work. Yeah, both work. Front hand or backhand, yeah. I guess front hand would be my personal favorite. The 5 fingers. The 5 fingers.
Well, it depends on who she is.
You sure? So yeah. All right, good, nice, good question. I was not expecting that, to be honest. Well, sure. Well, hey, let's say, hey, if y'all have any more comments for us, then you guys leave it there in the comments box, and we'll be sure to get back with y'all. Once again, we appreciate y'all coming on here, watching, and checking us out. And that will conclude this edition. Yes?
Steven gave us how the hell are the Bucks contenders?
I don't know. Now,
not yet.
So what I'll say with that, Steven, is I think Tampa Bay, I think, will be improved. They'll be improved. I still don't think they'll win the division. I think the New Orleans Saints, are the team to be in that division still. I mean, getting Brady.
I will say this: Brady does move the needle, but you have to understand that the Bucks are playing in a much more difficult division than Brady did when he played for the Patriots. Patriots, they're guaranteed 8 wins almost every season. Coming into the NFC South, they're not guaranteed 8 wins. There's only been like 1, maybe 2 times that the single team has won that division twice in a row. So even at that point, this is a much harder division. I think that they will be improved. I don't think that they are contenders just because Brady's there. I think that they will probably finish 3rd.
So, and to finish that thought, I think the Atlanta Falcons are the wild card in that division, and that will depend a lot on where Tampa Bay does finish. Right now, I have them. I mean, if I had to say, I think I could give them 2nd place, and that's really just simply because I don't know what to expect from Atlanta. We know Atlanta has the talent to do a lot of things. They have the talent to go 11-5, 12-4. But they could go 6-10, 7-9, just depending on what happens. So we'll see. But yeah, I'd still say the Saints are the team to be in that division. And if the Bucks don't make the playoffs, don't be surprised at that, because it's not just the division, it's the conference. The NFC is loaded with good teams. So and then another thing before we move on to your next question, if last year is any indication, is that the right word? Indication? Yeah. But if it's any you have to be 10-6. You have to be 10-6 to get into the playoffs, because that's what the Minnesota Vikings were, sitting in the second wild card spot. So if you're not bringing us 10-6 record, good luck getting into the playoffs in the NFC. Who's going to give KC a run in their division? Nobody. I don't see any of those teams. I don't see the Raiders. I don't see the Chargers or the Broncos ready to give Kansas City a run. Kansas City, far and away, is the best team in that division. What you got, Patrick?
Same. I mean, look, the Raiders they got a new stadium. They got a new home. Okay. That just means they're going to get their butt whipped in Vegas instead of Oakland.
Instead of Oakland, right? They're just moving. They're moving their ass kicking from one location to another. So.
Yeah, that's the way they roll. Just like the Rams, and how they keep moving from city to city. Oh, you got to check out that that used condom episode that I just be telling them about the Rams.
Yeah, I gotta find that one.
Nobody. Nobody's ready for Patrick Mahomes and what that Kansas City team brings.
Yeah.
And the from last year? No. Nobody.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll say Denver looks like they're starting to get it together on paper. I like what they did in the draft, adding Jerry Jeudy to the receiving core to join Cortland Sutton. I think the defense is a little bit improved. I like what Denver is doing. I think the Chargers are just a cursed franchise. I mean, they can't even sell out a soccer stadium, and then they're moving into this new stadium with the Rams. Stupid. Makes no sense to me. They'll probably be moving again. Give it about 5 years. And the Raiders, yeah, I think they just have a long way to go. So, yeah, it's all about Kansas City in the AFC West. Do we think Buffalo will win their division for the next 5 years? I don't think it'll be for the next 5 years, but I do think Buffalo is on their way to maybe being the power in that division, with New England kind of starting to go through a little bit of a rebuild, kind of. I mean, I think it's possible. It's possible, but let me finish, Patrick. I see you shaking your head, but let me finish. I still say New England is the team to beat right now. I'm not going against Bill Belichick. Not right now. I have to see something else. I have to see. Yeah, so I'd have to see. I would have to see Buffalo actually do it first for 1 year before I would look at it for the next 5 years.
Just saying.
And let's see, where's Jamal Adams going? I don't know.
Where Cam Newton's going?
Huh?
Where Cam Newton's going? To the house.
To the house. Look, I'll say this: whoever does get Jamal Adams as their safety is definitely getting a gift. If I'm the Jets, I'm doing everything I can to keep him. But I do think Steven is asking this question because there are rumors that says he might be going to the Cowboys. So yeah, there's rumors that he might be going to the I knew it. I knew it. So
there's always rumors that somebody's going to the Cowboys.
So I think for now, I think they'll be able to work out something, whether it's a franchise tag to stay with the Jets. But the Jets are kind of a stupid franchise, so chances are he won't be there. The Jets
will be in the Jets, dude. The Jets is the new Philadelphia. Everything in New York is the new Philadelphia. Philadelphia was so stupid. That every team in Philadelphia was so stupid for the past 6-7 years. Now it's all about New York and how stupid they can get.
I mean, God, between what you got, you have
stupid one Philadelphia.
Look, Patrick, look, the Knicks are garbage. The Giants are garbage.
The Jets are garbage.
Mets and Nets, and they all rhyme.
Put them in where is Eminem when you need him? Right here, dude. We're giving you rhymes right here, bro. Here. The Mets, Jets, the Nets.
The Jets, Mets, and Nets. How does that happen? And they're all garbage.
And they're all garbage. That's the one thing that they must have the same ownership. That's the only thing we can explain.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Well,
now I will say this though, if Dallas does pick up Adams, that would be a good pickup for them.
Definitely would solidify the secondary for them. They do have some good young corners. I know they let Byron Jones go to Miami, but
great pickup.
Yeah, but I mean they got Cheeto Awuzie. Yeah, his name's Cheeto, and Jordan Lewis there still as the corner.
Boozer.
Yeah, yep. But the secondary, if they were able to get Jamal Adams, that would solidify a lot of things. And honestly, the Cowboys roster would look pretty good overall. They do have a lot of talent. It's just a matter of could they put it together. And honestly, I just don't know. I just don't see them really doing it. I just think they're kind of a cursed franchise too. Not as bad as the Jets, Steven, but Cowboys look kind of cursed too. So we got one more question, man, and then we'll have to wrap it up. Did the Aaron Rodgers drama just disappear? I think it just disappeared for a little bit. When the season gets closer, it will probably come right back. And then you'll see. Yeah, Aaron. Yeah. Aaron, where are you? Where is Aaron at right now? Better be sick, dead, or mute. Yeah. No, I don't think
it disappeared until the season starts, and then it's going to come right back. You gotta wait for him to come back into the limelight.
Yep. Aldon Smith expectations. They're not that high for me. He has been out of the league for 5 years. So to think he's going to come right back and just pick up where he left off, where he was a member of the San Francisco 49ers, having 20 sacks, I don't necessarily see that. But I think he will be. I think he can make a little bit of a difference. He'll have a lot of people there. He'll have a lot of people that can occupy blocks for him. Now the problem is, do we think he can stay on the field? That's what we have to worry about with Aldon Smith. From everything we're hearing, seems like he's trying to get his life together and all this other stuff. I'd have to see it to believe it, but not that high for me, Steven. Not that high.
He won't even start.
Yeah, I don't think he'll start either. I mean, I think he'll come out in like a third down, like specialty package. Yeah, they come out there for third down to kind of rush the passer, be that guy kind of in the rotation. Now, if he shows something in these first few games, then maybe he will start, maybe. But right now, not that high.
I don't have any expectations from either. I think he's doing the team just for experience, and that's it. And that's it. I have no expectations of him doing anything whatsoever.
Well, all right, man. We about to wrap it up here. We appreciate everybody coming on out. This will conclude the Breath of Fresh Air webcast. Everybody, make sure you check out the Breath of Fresh Air YouTube channel. Smash that subscribe button and also keep the likes coming on the Facebook page. We have shorties coming up this week. You're going to be able to do your shorty. John Kitna's son. Shoot. I'm trying. Man, who is John Kitna's son? Now I gotta sit there and I gotta think about that. Now I gotta Google that. Oh, to the Gators. Oh, okay. So, well, Florida, I guess, is getting John Kitna's son as the quarterback. Interesting.
I'll do some research and then I'll give my opinion because this is the first time hearing about it.
Yes. Let's see, and that's the thing. That's why we like this feedback, because sometimes y'all can throw some stuff out there that we don't even know. So
yeah, I'm gonna be looking on that one. So Stephen, I will get my comment to you as soon as I can. I will find out.
So all right. Well, as I said, that will conclude this webcast. Check out the Facebook page. Hit us up on the YouTube channel. Smash that subscribe button on the YouTube channel. Hit the like button on the Facebook page. And once again, we are all about the feedback. We encourage the feedback, and we will get back to you. Anything I'm missing, Patrick?
Nothing.
All right. Well, everybody take care, and we will talk to you next time, or we'll see you on the shorties.
Later. 20 minutes?